Yes, this is the video that's going to help you get through these starred problems. I won't be doing them fully, but at least getting you in the right direction here. When we simplify radicals, the first thing you want to do is break them down or factor tree them. If it's even, I just like to use 2 all the way down. Now, you want to keep your eyes focused on the leaves. The leaves would be the ones right at the end. They're the prime numbers right at the end. You do not want to be looking at the branches. Do you understand what I mean by the difference? 90 is a branch, 45 is a branch, and this 9 here is a branch. You don't look at the branches, you look at the leaves. And then you ask yourself, if the leaves have a date, a couple, like we have a couple of 2s, when a couple goes out, they go out as a couple, so it's singular. We take that out. We have a pair of 3s here. They're going to go out as a couple. This 5 here stays home. As pizza, no date. So you're going to finish this by multiplying 3 times the 2 times the 7. Square root of the only number that does not have a date, which would be 5. Simplifying. When you have a radical in the basement, the simple thing you need to understand is you must get rid of that radical in the basement. And there's a rule here. Come to the top of the paper. Let me show you this very simple rule. Root 2 times root 2 is technically 4. But that's perfect. That just becomes 4. Watch another one. Root 3 times root 3 technically is root 9. But root 9 is just 3. Do you see the pattern? Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. I did this. Root 7 times root 7. That would equal root 49, which is just 7. So the rule here is any radical times itself is just the number. Unlock the radical. So you want to get rid of that radical when it's in the basement. Think of it this way. You don't want any of those evil radicals in your basement. They'll come up and get you. So we want to get rid of this radical. We're going to do that by multiplying by the same radical top and bottom. Whatever you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. Okay, now watch what we do here. We have 5 square root 2 times, here we have the 32 underneath the radical. Then down below we have this 3. Now root 32 times root 32 just unlocks the radical. We have 32. Do not multiply. All right. Just leave it. We're going to break it down. So now what you want to do is we do 5, and we're going to prime factor. 2 is already prime factored. I'm going to prime factor 32, which is 4 times 8. So 4 is 2 times 2 times 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2 again. That's 32. Over 3 times 32. Now, what you want to look for are your dates. Underneath the radical sign, we want to pull out pairs of 2. So let's see how many pairs. We have 1 pair of 2. That's going to come out. Have another pair of 2s. That's going to come out. And another pair of 2s. That's going to come out. So there's no one left on the radical sign. So on the outside, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, there's no one left in the radical, over 3 times 32. Now you just want to factor and cancel this out, clean it up so that you end up with something over something. Number 6 says simplify, then add and subtract. So the first thing you want to do is everything under the radical sign, we're going to see if we can simplify. That means you break it down beyond prime numbers. So here, that's going to be 3 and 9, 3 and 3. 3 can't be broken down anymore, so we just leave it. Neither can that. But this over here can be broken down. We have 9 and 6, 3 and 3, 2 and 3. Now we want to pull out the date. So looking over here, we can pull out a pair of 3s, do a little arrow, do the little baby 3, put a dot so you remember you're going to multiply. And I'd like you to box this 3 because it stays under the radical sign. Come over here. Let's see, we can pull out a pair of 3s. Draw the little arrow, bring the little 3 there. This 2 and 3, no date, so they're going to stay. Now let's rewrite what we have here. This first one is negative 9 square root of 3 minus 2 root 3 minus 2 root 3. And hit this, we have a 3 outside, so minus 3 square root of 6. Now you want to look at your radical signs, and we're going to collect like terms. So underline like radicals. That's a different one. So we're going to add negative 2 minus 2, minus 2 again. Now you add it up. You're going to have something root 3. You do your own math there. Minus 3 root 6, and you're done. We're going to solve for the variable. One rule when you're working with variables and fractions is to get rid of the fractions as quick as you can. The first thing you want to do is convert everything to straight up fractions. So watch what I do. That's already a fraction, so I'm going to leave it. Minus 5 over 2 n plus, that's 1, minus, change this back to improper. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, so this is 4 over 3 equals 71 over 12. Now, take a look at your denominators. And your goal is to find the lowest common denominator, which in this case, you have 2, 3, and a 12. Everything goes into 12, so that's what we're going to use as our arrow in, arrow out. So we're going to convert everything and get rid of it right off to begin with. Follow with me. Circle the 2, arrow in. 2 goes in there 6 times, arrow out. We put a little baby 6 there. And 6 times 5, that's 30. So I have negative 30 n. Now be careful with this one. Technically, that's 1 over 1. So circle the 1, bring it around, that's 12. So we're going to go plus 12. Be careful, don't drop that 1. You have to convert it to a 12. Ready? Arrow in, arrow out. 3 goes into 12 4 times. That's going to be minus 4 times 4, that's 16. Equals, arrow in, arrow out. That's 1. 12 goes into 12 one time. Okay, I think you can take it from there. Your goal is to solve for n now. Solve for n. So we're doing here, understand question, plan, solve, check. Understand question, plan, solve, check. The first part to understanding is to finger track and read out loud. So ready? Put your finger there. I'd like you to track as I read. Ready? Your lips should be moving. An office conference room has a length which is 8 feet longer than its width. The perimeter of the room is 56 feet. The carpet is sold by the square yard and costs $5.75 per square yard. Calculate the exact cost of the carpet for the office room. Okay, now we do this. Filter. Draw a label list. Cross out. We have a length is, which is an equal sign, 8 feet longer than the width. The perimeter is 56 feet. Is an equal sign. Carpet is sold by the square yard. And costs $5.75 per square yard. Calculate the cost. Okay, so this is as far as we're going to go. We're going to draw a label list, cross out. We have the rectangular. We have our length. We have our width. Our length is 8 feet longer than our width. Cross stuff out as you account for it. The perimeter of the room is 56 feet. Now remember, when you do perimeter, always physically walk it around. So just put your pencil here. Physically walk it around. Put a little arrow there to represent perimeter. And its perimeter equals 56 feet. Carpet is sold by the square yard. Now watch very, very carefully. This is the tricky part, and this is where contractors could take advantage if you're not ignorant, or if you are ignorant. You all know that in the first dimension, 1 yard is 3 feet, right? That's in the first dimension when it's just length. Be very careful when we're dealing with a square yard. That's a yard, 1 yard. And then this way is a yard, 1 yard. So here we have 3 feet long going this way. Here you have 3 feet long going this way. So be very careful. 1 square yard, 1 yard squared is actually equal to, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet squared. You're going to need that down the road. Your conversion rate, 1 yard squared equals 9 feet squared. It is not a 1-to-3 ratio. Okay, from here you ask yourself what you can do. We know we can work with perimeter. So our goal is to find the cost. Perimeter equals 56 feet. And we know perimeter simply equals length plus width plus length plus width. Okay? Take it from there. Finish the problem. Check your work.